Healthy at Home with Bobbi Jansen.
Hi everyone, and welcome back. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. I'm happy to have you with us. This episode is basically the full meal deal. So we are focusing on different parts of the body to build that strength, increase that mobility. There is one exercise that is standing out to me because it is a frequent area of injury, and that is the rotator cuff. And that's the area of muscles surrounding the shoulder. If you've injured it before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. As a guide dog user, that shoulder is constantly in use. So strengthening my rotator cuffs is something I put into every one of my kind of weekly exercise routines to prevent overuse injuries. So find a nice, safe, open space. If you got socks on, you're gonna wanna take them off so we don't slide all over the place. Grab your water. If your furry friends are around, shoo them away so that you're not tripping over them. You can even shoo your human friends away if you wish, or drag them in and have them join us. We will see you after the break to get warming up.
Healthy at Home with Bobbi Jansen. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back to Healthy at Home with Bobbi Jansen.
All right, you guys, we are going to warm up. So this first exercise in the warm-up can be done seated if you wish. So I'm going to do this standing, but if you want to join me doing this seated, by all means, feel free. So I'm standing nice and tall, feet are hip distance apart. So I'm going to do a head to toe check. So I'm like a nice tall stack of Legos. My neck is nice and long. So just imagine you're dropping that chin slightly so your neck is in line with the spine with those giant stack of Legos. Your belly button is in and up so I could come poke you in the stomach, and the belly muscles are nice and firm, but you can still breathe. Now, so I want you to think of, we're not going to worry about holding a quarter with our butt cheeks just yet, but it is coming. But imagine firming up those butt cheeks and firming up your thighs. So just imagine a nice strong stance. Your arms are down at your sides, or if you're seated, they're still down at your sides. I'm going to inhale, turn my right palm facing forward as if I was going to slap the wall in front of me. And now I'm going to inhale that arm all the way up overhead so my fingertips are towards the sky, and reaching that right arm towards the left side of my body, taking a side bend to the left. So you're going to feel this in your right armpit and the right side of your body. And keep breathing. We're going to let that arm slide all the way down. So think of making half of a snow angel. Your left arm, turn that palm so it's facing forward like you can slap the wall in front of you. You're going to inhale, raise that arm right up overhead, and reach it towards the right side of your body, bending slightly to the right. Now my right arm is just kind of hanging out at the side of my body. So you're breathing and stretching. Take that arm up, and your half snow angel all the way down. We're going to do this a little quicker to each side. So my right arm all the way up and over. Take a stretch, exhale it down. That feels so fabulous. Left one. Left arm up and over, core is tight, exhale it down. Good job. Let's do a couple shoulder rolls. So think of bringing your shoulders up towards your ear. Guess what? You can do this seated if you wish. So if you are seated, you can stay seated. If you're standing, stay standing. Slide them down the back. You're making circles with your shoulders up towards the ears. Slide them back and down. Around the front, up towards the ears, down and back. One more, up towards the ears, down and back. I really like this one, you guys. It feels really good if you've had a long day or even to start your day. Now, this next one, if you find it to be a bit much for the warm-up and confusing on the brain, which sometimes I get a little mixed up, you can simply march. So that's raising the knee up, your leg is flexed, putting the foot down, my left leg up. So just marching on the spot. It can be small marches, it can be big marches, or we're going to pretend we're jumping rope. So my arms are at my sides. I'm going to turn my palms slightly forward and I'm going to make fists like I'm holding a rope. My knees are soft, which means they have a slight bend. My core is still tight. Okay, so you can stay here and just hop lightly in the spot, or you can add the arms, making circles like as if you're jumping a rope. You've got one of those, I think of those ropes with the beads on them. They click when they hit the floor. Those are my favorite. Okay. Or you can go quite quickly, smaller circles with the arms. You're gonna hear my feet hitting the floor so you can gauge how fast I'm going. Please go at your own pace. 3, 2, good job. Whew. All right, my blood is flowing. one of the purposes of the warm-up. So grab a drink if you need, if you've got your water nearby, and then we'll move on to the exercise portion. So we're gonna work on a weird part of the leg. So I think of it as your outer butt cheek, so your outer hip. So we're gonna start nice and tall, stack of Legos. Okay, nod your chin slightly. Belly is firm. My feet are hip distance apart. Now, I'm gonna put my hands on my hips, but if you have balance issues, what I recommend here for this one is having a chair or a back of a couch in front of you. Now, if you're gonna use a chair, the back is facing you so you can rest your hands on that chair. Okay, so the back of the chair is right in front of you and you can just set your palms on there. So if I tip over, sorry guys, I'm going to step my right foot about a foot away from the position that it is in, which is hip distance. Okay, I'm on my toes or the ball of my foot. Now, if you notice you're leaning to the side, try and bring your weight towards the center. Imagine your weight going down through the center of your body. So again, my foot is out to the right, and we are going to do side leg raises. So resting on the ball of that foot, you can have your hands on that chair. I'm gonna lift my leg a couple inches, my right leg, a couple inches to the right above the ground. So it's just raising it up, tapping it back down. So I notice I'm pitching a little bit to the left. So use your core muscles to try and stay as stable as you can. Lift, lower, lift, lower, raise, lower, raise, lower. Are you breathing? I hope so. Raise, lower, raise, lower, tapping it down, raise, lower. We've got two more, raise, lower, and one more, raise, lower. Good job. So you should feel this on the outside of your butt, so the outer hip. We're gonna do the same thing to the other side. So realign yourself, feet hip distance apart. So from the original position of your hip distance apart, I'm gonna step that leg about a foot to a foot and a half away from the body. This is gonna depend on the length of your legs. Okay, so resting on the ball of the foot, my toes are pointed. Watch you are not shifting to the right. Belly is firm, and then we're gonna do a side leg raise. So use your chair if you need it. Raise and lower. Raise and lower. So it's that outer hip, outer butt cheek, lower, raise, lower, raise and lower, raise and lower. We have four more. 4 and lower, 3 and lower, 2 and lower, one more, raise and lower. Good job. So this one, it's gonna also work some of these little muscles that work with balance and stability, causing you to be, your posture to be upright. So all these little tiny movements. So we're gonna do that same thing to the back. So we're gonna be a little bit tricky. So I'm gonna realign again. Think of always starting from that first building block position of your legs being hip distance apart, your feet are nice and flat on the floor, your body is tall like a stack of Legos, your neck is long, nod your chin slightly. Now I'm gonna take my right leg and step it behind me, reaching back with that foot. I'm on the ball of the foot, so my toes have a little bit of a point to them. My stance to the back isn't as wide as it was to the side because my balance is not as good here. So using that chair if you need, hands can be on your hips, they can be wherever is comfortable. You can even place them in kind of a palms together in front of you at your heart. Now I'm gonna raise that leg and lower it. So raising it behind me, so think of pushing behind you. You're pushing something away behind. Raise and lower. Raise and lower. 5 and lower. 4 and lower. 3 and lower. Use that core. 2 and lower. One more. Raise and lower. Bring it back to that original standing position. So this is working your back, your core, and your glute muscle, which is your butt muscle, which happens to be the largest muscle in the body. So we're gonna do the same thing to your left leg. Now, if you've started with your left and you mix them up, don't worry, we'll just simply do the other side. So stepping that left leg behind, pointing the toes, I'm resting on the ball of the foot. Oh, my balance is a little trickier on this side. So don't let that surprise you. Now, think of using that core. You're nice and tall. You're not bending at the hip. You're pressing that leg back and lower. Raise and lower. My toes are coming off the floor and lower. And lower. Raise and lower. And 4, lower. 3, lower. 2, lower. One more. raise and lower, bring it back. Whew. Okay, that is a tough one. So we are going to go into the rotator cuff exercise. As I said, it's something I like to incorporate different variations of rotator cuff exercises to provide that safety and stability for the shoulder muscles and the shoulder joint. So bear with me, this might take a little bit more explaining. So we're gonna start with your arms at your sides. Now I want you to sweep them up above head. So your palms are facing each other, your palms are facing each other, fingertips are reaching towards the sky. Now what happens here, keep breathing please, is our rib cage likes to pop. So think of bringing your ribs and everything in line. So your body is that stack of Legos, otherwise we tip over if one of the Jenga blocks is out. Now I want you to face your palms forward to the wall in front of you, like you're gonna high five someone way up high. Bend your elbows and lower your arms out to the side. So you're a cactus here, or a goalpost, okay? So we got 90-degree angles on either side. Palms are facing forward. Now you can leave your palms here, or you can make fists. We're gonna use resistance. So imagine the air is thick and you're using your own muscles' resistance to make the exercise harder. Now, if you would like, you can do this exercise seated. Okay, so I'm gonna this is gonna be a little tricky. We're gonna end up in a position that looks like we're riding a great big giant Harley. So your arms from your shoulder to your elbow are gonna stay where they are. You're gonna lower your forearms, your wrists, and your palms towards the floor, but you're gonna stop at that elbow shoulder height. So you're making a cactus that's now facing the floor. Okay, and we're gonna raise it back up, all as one, keeping that 90-degree bend in the arms. Good job. And lower, think of going slow through mud or molasses or something super thick. Raise it up. Now the rotator cuff muscles, we're gonna lower back down, are often not super strong, so they're prone to injury. So it often doesn't take much here. And raise it up. Now what's your body doing? Is your core still engaged? I hope so. Lower it down to that Harley riding position. I know my husband would truly enjoy that metaphor. Back up to a cactus. Okay, that core is so engaged, otherwise we're wobbling all over the place. Lowering it down to your Harley position. Start your engines, people. Rise it back up, and we've got one more in each position. So lowering it to Harley riding position. Okay, you can even flex your hands here like you're starting your motor, revving your motor, and back up to cactus position. Oh my goodness, I can feel this already. Let your arms fall down at your sides. I'm just gonna shake it out. We're gonna do another set of that, okay? Now, like, I've kind of touched on this before, but if this is your first time joining us, what I want you to know is no pain, no gain it's not a thing. If exercise is painful, you need to stop where you're at, reset, okay? Challenging is one thing, pain is no good. So if you're experiencing pain, please release. All right, let's start again. So I'm gonna set up nice and tall, belly is firm. I'm gonna swing those arms up towards the ceiling, face my palms, facing that wall in front of me. My fingers are towards the sky. I'm gonna bend at the elbows, making each arm into about 90 degrees. Now my shoulders are varying in different strengths here, so sometimes one's a little higher than the other. So try and do your best there. Make palms or fists if you wish, or keep your palms forward. Now we're gonna go lower like you're riding a Harley. So this is movement is actually coming from not only the shoulder, but also the elbow. Back to center of the cactus position, and lower to your Harley position, back to your goalpost or your cactus. If you're a soccer fan or football fan, here's your goalpost. Back to your Harley, and up. We got two more. Lower, and raise, back up. Let it go, shake it all out, okay? So that one can be done seated, while you're flying in a plane, in an office, with very light dumbbells or soup cans, or just using body weight resistance like we did. I'm gonna come down to the floor to all four. So we're gonna do this slowly. After you've been exercising or during an exercise program, you're never gonna move too quickly, so you can take this time also to grab a drink. I'm gonna come onto all fours, a kneeling all fours or tabletop position. My wrists are beneath my shoulders, my knees are beneath my hips. Now usually what happens is we kind of like to hang out here, everything feels good, but I want you to think of bringing that belly button in and up, and your back is flat, like you're I'm starting to get hungry, so let's say you've got a plate of nachos on your back. You want to keep those still. Spread your fingertips a little bit to provide more stability for the wrists. Now, I will go over there's 2 stages to this. So you have the option. Now I'm going to move my legs a couple inches, my knees further back from the hips, just to create a little bit of challenge for the core. So my knees are further back behind my hips, my tops of my feet are flat on the floor, my toes are pointing behind me. If this is where you're at, you can stay here. Otherwise, I'm going to extend my left leg, pointing my toes and tapping the floor behind me. Bring it back into the resting starting position. Extend my right leg behind. Tap the toes on the floor. Bring my knee back in. Okay, and that's where you can, I'm going to go back to the left leg. Tap it back in. So imagine using your core, not these hip flexor muscles, which is your hip crease, basically. Right leg back. Tap it in. Do it again, just for good luck. Left leg, tap it in. Right leg, tap it in. Let's kick it up for good measure. So you can stay there or come into a full plank, which I'm extending both legs behind me. My toes are curled under. Now I'm going to step my left leg out to the side. Keep your abs tight. That back is flat. Right leg out to the side, bring it back to center. Left leg out to side, bring it back to center. Right leg out to side, back to center. One more each side. Left, in, right, in, and come on down to kneeling. All right, you guys, good job. That one works the core. So drink your water. We are going to take a little break, and then you can join me for the cool down.
Healthy at Home with Bobbi Jansen. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back to Healthy at Home with Bobbi Jansen.
All right, you guys, you have earned that cool down, and so have I. So this section is going to be done seated on the floor. So you can come to joining me on the floor. I'm on my mat here. So this is a part where our body cools down and recovers. So sometimes people get a little bit cold. So if you have taken your socks off to exercise, you can feel free to put them back on. So I'm sitting on my butt, taking my legs straight out in front of me. My feet are not necessarily flexed or pointed, they're somewhere in the middle, okay? So they're just they're hanging out, they're relaxed. I'm gonna open my legs to a wide V, not the splits. No, I'm not there, sorry. So, wide V, and I'm nice and tall. Watch that your head is in line with your spine, so you don't want it to drop down to your chest and you don't want it looking all the way up at the sky. And we're simply gonna take my fingertips are on the floor in front of me, in between my legs, and I'm gonna slowly walk my fingertips forward, so away from me, hinging at the hips with a nice flat back. Now my head follows my spine, so it is nice and long. Now, if you're really tight in the hamstrings, and that is the back of your thigh, you can give your knees a little soft bend here, and that will take some of the tension out of there or make your V a little bit smaller, okay? So continuing, imagine your body melting. Nice flat back. Often we can feel this up the back, so if you do a lot of walking or even a lot of sitting, your low back can take quite a beating, so this feels nice. I'm gonna walk my fingertips a little further forward. Now, if you found a spot where you feel a stretch, you can hang out there. I need a little bit more, so I'm just gonna stretch a little more and relax down. Now, I want you to go ahead, let your head relax, your neck relax, your shoulders relax, and your whole body can melt. And if it's not melting, don't worry. We're slowly gonna walk it back up. All right, so for this next one, you can come into a cross-legged position, or I'll give you an alternative. If you have any knee issues, you're going to oh goodness, I'm tongue-tied. You're gonna wanna stick with the cross-legged position. Otherwise, I'm gonna take my left leg into a half cross-legged position. My shin is parallel in front of me. So I have a mat, I'm sitting on a mat. It's in line with the edge of the mat. I'm going to stack my other leg on top. If this is tight, stick with your cross-legged. I'm gonna flex both feet. So this is like stacking a fire log on top of another. I sit nice and tall. I'm gonna hinge at the hips. Your chest is coming forward towards the ground. Your gaze is forward. So you're thinking of shutting a lid with your upper body. Your chest is coming towards that floor. And what this does is stretch the muscle of your one butt cheek. So whether you're cross-legged or in this half fire log position, your gluteus maximus is getting stretched. Come on back up. If you cross your legs, switch it up, crisscross applesauce. So change the cross of your legs. Otherwise, you're going to change your fire log position. So my shin is parallel with my mat in front of me. My other leg is simply stacked directly on top. So basically, I want to say it's making an upside down triangle. My feet are gently flexed. So that means they're kind of flat at the base. I'm going to hinge at the hips. So I'm going to fold forward from the waist. Walk your fingertips forward. Now, notice here, is one side easier to stretch than the other? And if you're comfortable, you can walk a little further, feeling that stretch in the other glute. And slowly, slowly bring it back up. All right, I'm going to come back into a cross-legged position. Good job, you guys. You were amazing. So remember, go easy with the rotator cuff exercises. Those are delicate muscles. I want you to stay moving and stay motivated. And I hope you will join me next time where we hit more of the muscles and more of the exercises.
Host, Bobbi Jansen. Video production, Honeycut Studios. Integrated Described Video Specialist, M. Williams. Content Development Specialist, Jim Krysko. Supervising Producer, Jennifer Johnson. Director, Production, Cara. VP, Content Development and Programming, John Melville. President and CEO, David Errington. Copyright 2022, AMI Accessible Media, Inc.
An AMI original production.